The woman's hands and feet were tied to the glass dining table, and no matter how much she struggled, it was useless. She looked at the man in front of her with a face full of terror. The man held a bottle of pills, insisting that the woman swallow them all. He held the bottle in one hand, pouring it down, while pinching the woman's mouth with the other. Although the woman was very reluctant, a large number of pills still entered her mouth. At this moment, the wall clock rang, knocking the bottle out of the man's hand. The man slashed the clock's arm with a knife, then went berserk, slashing wildly. Even when the clock fell to the ground, he didn't stop, frantically hacking away. Afterwards, he stomped the clock into pieces. The woman quickly spat out the pills from her mouth and swiftly freed her arms from the ropes. At this moment, she saw the insect spray nearby and hurriedly reached for it. While the man was on the ground picking up pills, the woman successfully grabbed the spray. As the man stood up, he was sprayed in the face, immediately feeling pain. The man lay on the ground, rolling around in pain, while the woman quickly untied the ropes. Just as she was about to run out, the man grabbed her clothes, and she desperately charged forward, tearing her clothes into strips. Terrified, she crouched in the corner, preparing to open the door and leave, when the man stabbed the door with a knife. The woman hurriedly scrambled upstairs, but unfortunately, the man grabbed her foot. The man suddenly exerted force, causing the woman to tumble down the stairs. Then he dragged her down by her leg. The woman kicked the man out, turned around, and ran into a room, using the door to knock the knife out of the man's hand. The man rushed in and grabbed her by the neck. The woman was on the verge of suffocation when a statue on the bookshelf fell, hitting the man squarely on the head. The man was knocked out cold. When the woman regained her senses, she saw the eerie statue in front of her, quickly got up, and ran out to the street. She ran while desperately shouting for help, but on the deserted street at night, there wasn't a soul in sight. The woman soon became exhausted and stopped, about to faint, when a large hand patted her shoulder. It turned out to be a patrolling police officer. The woman said that a madman was trying to kill her and that she had knocked him out in the study at home. He was actually the recently wanted criminal. Eager to make a contribution, the officer hurried to the woman's home study, but found no one there. The window was open, and Zhan Jing thought the man must have escaped through it. He jumped out the window to chase after him, leaving the woman looking terrified. After Zhan Jing entered the woods, the woman looked down and was startled. There was a man's shoe under the curtain. The woman didn't make a sound but quietly stepped back a few steps and carefully took a baseball bat out of her bag. Then, she started hitting the curtain hard. After several hits, she realized something was off. She pulled the curtain aside and saw only a pair of shoes on the ground. It seemed to be a trap set by the man. The woman was so scared she quickly retreated. At that moment, there was a sudden flash of lightning and thunder outside. In the flash, we could clearly see the man standing right behind the woman. The woman also sensed something was wrong behind her, and large beads of sweat rolled down her forehead. She suddenly turned around, but the man grabbed her by the neck. The woman swung the bat at the man's side, but he punched her to the ground, and she fainted shortly after. While the woman was unconscious, the man took out a bottle of pills and continued to feed her. No wonder people said this man was mentally unstable. Is this something a normal man would do? After a while, the woman woke up again. She reached for the baseball bat, but the man kicked it away. The woman then reached for the insecticide, but accidentally knocked it even further away. Next, the woman grabbed a stun baton, and with a burst of sparks, the man was shocked and backed away. As the woman was about to leave, she stepped on the bottle of pills on the floor. She brought it back to the man. Just as the man grabbed her hair, she shocked him again with the baton. Then, she quickly got up and ran outside, seeing a figure at the door. She closed her eyes in pain. When she opened them, she realized she had knocked down a patrol officer. The woman hurriedly went to help the patrol officer. "I'm fine," she said. But then the man came at them with a knife. As he was about to pick up the gun on the ground, the woman charged at him with the stun baton again. The man convulsed and fell onto the sofa. The woman kept pressing the switch desperately, but by then, the stun baton was out of power. Then, the woman was slapped hard, hit the railing, and fainted. Just as the man picked up the gun, the patrol officer tackled him to the ground. Then the two started fighting. Zhan Jing was about to subdue the man, but the man countered with a headbutt, making Zhan Jing cry out and retaliate with a low kick followed by a left hook. Zhan Jing barely countered before the man punched him, sending him flying. The man picked up a knife from the ground, ready to finish off Zhan Jing. But he was hit by a punch from the woman, who was trembling in pain. Just as the man grabbed the woman's hair, Xu Jing stepped forward and punched him again. During the scuffle, Xu Jing accidentally got stabbed, and both fell to the ground. As Xu Jing was about to get up, the man kicked him away. At this moment, Xu Jing noticed a gun nearby and reached for it. He picked it up, but the man kicked it out of his hand, sending it flying towards the woman. The woman kicked it back, and the officer caught it midair. The man took the opportunity to run away. The officer jumped out the window to chase him, quickly running into the woods. The woman heard a clanging sound underfoot and realized it was a statue. Just as she picked it up, outside, there was a sudden gunshot. The officer ran back from the woods, and the woman sighed in relief, but the officer collapsed to the ground. The woman went to the window to check, and the man suddenly stood up with a knife, scaring her into screaming. As she was about to turn and leave, the man grabbed her hair. She struggled desperately and fell to the ground as the man aimed the gun at the woman. The woman got up and ran, with the man quickly chasing after her. She hid in a room and locked the door. The man fired a shot, breaking the doorknob. With nowhere to escape, the woman jumped from the upper floor. The man followed but accidentally stepped on the statue, falling and nearly breaking his back. The woman staggered to the edge of the pool. Seeing the man about to catch up, she jumped into the pool, hiding against the wall at the bottom. Suddenly, a stick poked down. It was the man blindly jabbing with a stick, unable to see underwater. After several attempts with no movement, the man threw the stick into the pool. Seeing no movement above, the woman was almost out of breath. She hurried back to the edge of the pool to make sure the man was no longer there. The woman was just about to climb out of the pool when the eerie statue appeared again in front of her. While she was momentarily stunned, the man charged at her with a knife. She quickly got up, grabbed the statue, and ran, with the man chasing her from behind. She hid in a villa that was still under renovation, but her footprints gave her away. He picked up a newspaper, wrapped his feet with it, and then went downstairs to hide in a cabinet. The man followed the footprints upstairs to check. The woman hadn't even caught her breath when a man collapsed beside her. It turned out to be her missing husband. She was so frightened that she covered her mouth, not daring to make a sound. Just as she pushed her husband aside, a cockroach scurried across the floor. The woman screamed in fright, which was heard by the man coming upstairs. He turned around and came back down. As the man reached the cabinet, the cockroach crawled onto the woman's foot. Terrified, she burst out of the cabinet, accidentally knocking the man down with the cabinet door. After making sure there were no cockroaches on her, she took the statue and repeatedly hit the man's head with it. Eventually, the man was knocked unconscious. The woman dragged her husband out of the cabinet and cried while holding his body. At that moment, the unconscious man woke up again. Seeing the woman right in front of him, he grabbed a dagger and lunged at her. She was so scared that she fell to the ground. The man's knife struck the statue instead. As he pulled the statue out to stab her again, she quickly dodged. The two started chasing each other down the street. The woman quickly ran to her backyard, with the man in hot pursuit. The woman reached the clothesline and remembered how she once cut an apple in half by throwing it. She suddenly ducked and dashed through. The man, unable to react in time, reached out and touched it. Witnessing this horrifying scene, the woman screamed frantically. The bodies from the villa were all taken away on the fourth day. The woman sat in front of the statue, with a strange expression on her face, as she peeled an apple faster and faster. Finally, she accidentally cut her finger and the blood landed on the statue's face. Who knows what will happen next? The movie, Eye of the Beholder, ends here. A 193-minute thriller, it became a childhood nightmare for many due to Simon Yam's convincing portrayal of a psychopath. However, it's worth mentioning that Joe Hyaming has a really nice figure. If you want to relive the classics, you can go watch the original film. Alright, if you want to see more great movie reviews, please follow me. Bye bye.